Hello from bugeyeguy.com. Check out Beans, a car that we refreshed, not restored. Now this in many ways was a project that was even more difficult than a ground-up restoration. Our mission with this car was to take a spectacular Barnfind bugeye and preserve it, make it usable again, bring it back to life, but try as best we could to keep all of its originality intact. So we made a number of decisions, many of them not always that easy. For example, this was an easy one. This is an original bugeye Sprite hood ornament. Now the new ones are actually a little more squared off than this, and they don't have, of course, that beautiful patina. The emblem was missing on this car when we got it, so we were lucky to have that one in inventory and to use it in a proper home. Really fun to put that in place there. For the grill, we were able to clean that up sufficiently. It's the original grill. The bumper took quite a bit of work. It had been through the war, of course, as all of these bumpers were. Remember, in the 60s, these were very inexpensive cars. Most of them got beat up, and people were never imagining that in 2015 we might be trying to preserve, not restore them anyway. So the bumper had a number of dents, required a lot of work to get it as close as we could to straight, and that came out great. We put on period bias ply white wall tires, which were spec'd on the heritage certificate to have come on the car as new. We painted the wheels, they were just too far gone. And then with the paint, this is a Whitehall beige bugeye, which actually it turns out to be a rare color. I believe most of these beige cars were repainted in off-white. I think that distinction was lost on many people when they repainted the car. Maybe Old English white was more popular, but in any event, we've had very few Whitehall beige cars, and this was a horribly oxidized paint job that we were able to sand and buff back to a really nice brilliance. Of course, there were some wear places like this license plate light plinth that we couldn't restore, but rather than paint it and have a completely different gloss, we chose to leave that. We replaced all the rubber. It was all badly cracked and damaged, all these gaskets. That was kind of essential to just complete a finished product. That was one concession, was all new rubber, and I think it actually complements the car. We had horribly pitted rear bumpers. The chrome was just delaminating, and rather than put on shiny new ones, we had some that were patinaed, that were nice enough. They weren't all dented and beat up, but they had a little bit of wear, and those complemented the project perfectly. And it's just a joy to be able to see one of these cars. Of course, they're only original once, so rather than rip everything out and make it all brand new, we did what we had to. We had to put in new seats. The seats were just way too far gone. We had to put in carpet because the floor coverings were just completely trashed. But we were able to save the dashboard, which has, again, kind of a perfect patina to just fit in with this car in its current identity. And, other things like this, very difficult. What do? Do you recover this with new vinyl, and then you have this contrast between old and new? Or do you just leave it? And I think we left it because it's mainly a tribute to the heritage of this car. Same with all the switch gear. We have all the new knobs, but you may not have known that the H knobs were actually painted, not engraved like the W. These are the Bakelite knobs. The new reproductions have a seam on the edge. So it's kind of nice to have these original knobs. Almost all of these turn signal switches weathered in this way, and this one's no exception. We have the original horn working, and so everywhere you look, you see the product of our care, and that's Beans from bugeyeguy.com.